Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Monday to you and your family. Wow, what a nice recovery from Bitcoin, huh? It's cool to be able to see this. I don't want you to get super excited just yet, but it is very nice to see this change of pace, about 20% in 24 hours for Bitcoin. It's probably the largest movement we've seen in quite some time. Now that does translate over to coins like BNB and a few other alts, of course, but BNB is performing fairly well and generally holding in place overall in a decent way. And what I mean by that is the general sense of comparing this to Bitcoin chart, you can see that BNB has held its strength for the most part a lot better than the majority of other altcoins that got hit very hard. So just keep that in mind. BNB is still very strong in the overall sense of things. And what I want to do is open up with some positive here too, because we have some amazing community members in our group, in our Discord. And I just want to kind of highlight some really cool stuff here just before we get started so you can kind of see, well, not just how awesome our community is, but more importantly, the way that we are all able to come together and just benefit as a group, right? Because the great thing about trading is it's in an independent field, right? You can do whatever you want whenever you want, but sometimes you can feel isolated and alone. If you don't have that and you're lacking on kind of bouncing ideas off of other people, it's going to be difficult. Okay, so again, take a look at this here. SAC 169% for 20x long from Kava. Fantastic work. We got to talk about this too, of course. You're going to take some losses. It's normal to do this though, okay? Great thing is he didn't lose very much with an 8x short. That's not that terrible. You can bounce back from that. So keep up the good work, Andy. It's good risk management. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is even better. If you think about it, 521% for a long, nice long there for Litecoin, 727% for Blur, and 406 here recently for Bitcoin. Now, keep in mind, he did take profits along the way. He's not just massive bags. He's using good risk management and working within his own tolerance, right? We all have to do that. But the benefit here is the fact that we're all kind of learning and growing and kind of doing this together, okay? Furthermore as well, if you're curious, we got some awesome trades here. Yes, it took 17 days to get 62% from Bitcoin, but I'm perfectly fine with waiting that long for that kind of profit, okay? 37% in 5 days for Ethereum. And then what else do we got? We have a nice little, if I was mistaken, Matic trade that's still open. We hit our first target at 82% in 8 days. So again, 8 days, 82%, I think the math is there. Our portfolios are growing, even though we did have some concern recently with liquidation potential with that recent decrease from Bitcoin. It's all well and good. Okay, so again, just some cool stuff there from the community. Be sure to check that out. And very last thing too, of course, if you want to benefit from some trading signals, obviously you join the community. We have a free week trial. We have day trades coming here soon in the next couple of weeks if all possible. But when it comes to our sponsors, we have community trading competitions. BitGet just gave us 4,000 for our recent prize pool. Bybit, I'm working with them right now to get a competition going this month. Okay, so really cool stuff. All you have to do is use my link. And if you used them previous and never used my link, just message me. I can get you added to the roster. All right, so BNB foundationally is looking good, as I mentioned. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at some things here. Now keep in mind, this information is pertaining mostly to Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is the foundation here. I just want to highlight the fact that we have more shorts liquidated than longs for the first time in 2 weeks. While open interest is low and the price of Bitcoin is high, that may not be great. Fear and greed index is increasing. We're at 49 now. Okay, so for the most part, that fear is starting to subside, and it could imply and should imply that we're going to see further upside from Bitcoin. Okay, just keep that in mind. And one other thing that's foundationally important to understand is we have a CME gap now that may get filled eventually be 20,300 and 21,003. Okay, so 20.3 to 21.3 is essentially an area that may get filled eventually. So just be mindful. The price could pull back if it were to. That might get filled. All right, so let's take a quick look at why we're here, right? Sorry, I like to get that out there because it's important to know those things. If you don't know what Bitcoin is doing, you're going to be shooting in the dark for the most part with altcoins. You don't just go with your gut feeling. You can get a gut feeling after years of trading. In my opinion, I've been trading for 18 years, and I'm just starting to discover that here in the last few years. It takes a while. Anyways, regardless of that fact, BNB here, what we're looking at is some awesome stuff. We're up over 50 on the RSI. We've got a MACD convergence on the on the MACD. Even though I prefer the 4 hour, that's still very strong. And we can see we're currently above all three moving averages. So extremely strong daily. We want to close where we're at or higher at 308 or plus. because of the fact that that is a support level. You can see we saw some resistance there initially here recently, and again here today. So there's a decent chance that could be a resistance. Also 0.618 is a very strong Fibonacci retracement level. So please understand that the price might have some difficulty here. It may have to come back down and do somewhat of a cup and handle pattern, right? You can kind of see that there. It may jump back down to the 0.5 Fibonacci at 300, establish a support, and continue higher. We're hoping for that because honestly, without a stable foundation, this may not continue upwards, right? We don't want to have parabolic behavior. We are so far 2 trading days into a potential 3-day continuation. So tomorrow should very well be green as well. It makes sense that that would happen. Just keep in mind, we need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves and being careful. And in this regard here, with this kind of trade, you want to just be cautious and try not to FOMO in because everything's going up. Okay. It does make sense the price will continue higher, but we still want to wait for confirmation. And let's talk about confirmation here in just a moment. Before that, leading into it, we can see RSI at 70 causing a resistance level. That's perfectly fine. We want the price to consolidate right there. That's actually a very good sign. Taking a look at TD sequential as well here, you can see that we're up to a 7. Bitcoin's also at a 7. Really just implying that we have 24 hours of straight continuation upwards, and it would make sense for the price to consolidate in the next 8 hours. Okay, so we might see a little bit more green to the upside, but it'll probably go sideways and consolidate at 24,000 for Bitcoin, which is roughly equivalent to $308 for BNB. Okay, so I think we're going to see some range bound activity between 300 and 308 for a little while. Potentially, like I mentioned before, a cup and handle type of pattern where the price retests this resistance level 0.618 and breaks through to the upside. There's a chance of that. Okay, so the 4 hour does look pretty decent. MACD is still converging, even though we're testing 70 on the RSI. It would make sense for it to taper off. We're still looking pretty strong. So if you were to short, make sure you have some tight stop losses in place, and I wouldn't shoot for anything larger than 300 because I think it's unlikely the price will go down lower than 300 unless Bitcoin drops like a rock. Fundamental catalysts can definitely apply, so be mindful of that. That's half the reason why Bitcoin is taken off here with a lot of the crazy stuff going on in the world, with the banking industry right now. Okay, so dollar index is down, Bitcoin's up, just kind of that standard stuff. Taking a look at TD sequential here on the hourly, we can see we came up to a 9 previously, got rejected at this Fibonacci retracement level, 0.382 if I recall correctly. Price comes up, gets rejected at 0.618, comes right back down to that level, right back up. You can see this kind of rinse and repeat action. So hypothetically, the price will continue to do one of these patterns. As long as we don't make a lower low, we're good. Okay, we want to keep making higher lows. That's the important thing. So ideally, the next low will bounce right off this halfway point at 300. That to me would look like a good entry. So I'm going to just go ahead and put a little reminder here at about 302, so I can go ahead and take a look at that later and identify if it's worth getting in at that point. Okay, these are things that I do as a swing trader, right? Now day trading, do that as well, of course, just not necessarily, on my channel, if you will. But we are bringing day trades to the community here very soon. So be mindful of that. That's going to be a really awesome feature. Very, very consistent trades in that regard with the proven strategy that we have in place. It's at least 80-85% effective. And the beautiful thing about it is it's pretty consistent. You can get anywhere between 1 to 3 trades per day, and they're usually hitting somewhere in the range of within 0 to 8 hours. So they're pretty quick trades, which is great. Anyways, that's just another layer that we're bringing to the community, but for now, this is more applying to a swing trade. If you're day trading, you don't necessarily want to apply the same strategy. Be very careful turning a day trade into a swing trade or the inverse, and essentially just making sure that you do one or the other. Swing trading psychology is way different than day trading, okay? So please understand that. I talk about that in my Trading Academy, but some people try to do both and get wrecked because it's something that you need to learn to develop an eye for. It takes a long time to wear those hats. But the summarization here is the fact that we're looking very good. The last thing I didn't check is the Ichimoku cloud on the hourly, and we're looking green light here, good to go. There's no reason to close your position. Last thing I want to highlight too as well, this is also coming to the community actually sooner, is my CC Golden Indicator. And what this does is it really helps point out entry points and exit points, right? It's primarily used on the 50-minute time frame, and what it does, it highlights an entry here. For example, green caret gives us confirmation. You typically want to get out when you see a red arrow, right? And then, of course, these are overextension periods. So when the price is overextended, just something to be mindful of. And you can have this fully automate send you alerts as well when these things are triggered. But ideally, you're going to buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. It's a very consistent trading indicator. And again, I'm bringing that to the community. That'll be available on our homepage here soon. I like to touch on it. I'll have actually trading videos on how to use it effectively, but it's fairly straightforward. It does all the work for you. And it's just the confirmation tools that I use to take entry. Almost every single swing trade that I've taken in the past has used this type of formula, but this is better geared towards day trading. So if you're more of a day trader, this is coming again to our website there, available on the homepage here in the relative near future. So just something to be mindful of. So anyways, that's kind of what we're looking at there. Really positive stuff. Super happy about a lot of things I'm able to bring to our community and to just make it a much better trading experience. But again, congratulations to everyone who's taken profit here recently. Once again, you can only be profitable if you take profit. Try not to get super greedy. Diamond hands are the pathway to the dark side. Okay, again, at least for trading, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're a diamond hand holder from 69,000 for Bitcoin, you still got a long ways to go. That's not the best strategy. Dollar cost averaging is okay. Long-term, big picture, nothing wrong with that. But again, swing trades, day trades, etc., it makes a lot more sense to take some profit while you can and to work within the levels and the ranges that are provided to us. All right, enough about that. Hope that makes sense for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.